Wuthering Waves, Stuttering Waves, Wuthering Bugs, whatever you want to call this game, it's disappointing. Like, I really wanted to like that. I really wanted to like this game. I downloaded it on the first day. I played through the story. I played through the entire arc now. Like, I've completed up till Act 6. I've completed the entire main story. And it's just so bland, so inconsistent, so weird. I mean, I don't feel anything for any of the characters in the game right now. I mean, apart from the female row, but because she's more of a self-insert type of character. Like, she has amnesia, so she has no idea what she is or who she is. But everybody else knows who she is, but they're not gonna tell her something like that. I have no idea. And the story, I'm gonna talk about it casually. So if you wanna see a certain point, chapters are in the description if they don't show up in the video. Otherwise, yeah. So we're gonna start with the story. It's downright bad. It's so bad. I mean, I don't know. I heard people saying that Act 5 and Act 6 were good, and I was like, okay, maybe the game does a 180, not 360, does a 180, and the boring Act 1 to 4 gets a boost. But nope. I mean, I don't feel it. I mean, you can have the most epic fight ever, but it's just gonna fall flat if you don't feel anything for it. Like, you in the end of Act 6, you fight this giant rock monster, and then you gain this new power for havoc. Like, for the entirety of the game, your main character is running a spectral elemental damage, I think, and then at the end you gain some black wings. You turn into a dark angel sort of thing, and you get havoc power. And the boss fight is cool. You have GN fighting with you. Alongside you fight this weird humanoid bird type of creature. And yeah, there's something about the Trinodians and the whatevers and the Tacit monsters, the TDs and the whatnots. And oh my god. Again, I really wanted to like the story, and I'm not a picky person. Like, I'm not very choosy for story content. Like, we can just give me the worst Genshin event, worst novel, worst movie to read, and I'll like, okay, it's fine. It's stupid, but it's fine. But stories like this, it like forces you. Like, you just want to get through with the dialogue. It's like those repeatable Genshin commissions where you've just read it once and then like, okay, it's over. Let me skip over this. So it's kind of like that. But those are just commissions in Genshin. Over here, it's the main story, and you shouldn't be like, when you're playing a story-driven game, you shouldn't want to skip the main story. That's like the dumbest thing ever. If your main story isn't captivating enough, I just feel like your game doesn't even deserve to be called a story-driven game. Like, just go make Tekken or something and add multiplayer and have two people fight it out. That's a much better gameplay for it. But I've read many threads, I've read many comments from fanboys, from PGR fans, from Kuro Games fans, that maybe their story gets better. So I'm just keeping hope for it in the future. Maybe it gets better. I mean, every game has their rough period. Like, FGO had its rough period in Singularities 1 to 5, and then when Camelot came, it just bumped up FGO storytelling mastery. With Genshin, you had Inazuma, which was such a big blunder, but they then came back with this magnificent Sumeru arc, and continuing it with Fontaine. Same with Star Rail, where the Lawfu Xianzhou Lawfu was mind-numbingly boring, and it was the other story that I wanted to skip every dialogue because it was so boring, and the terms were horrendously unfamiliar and insanely boring. So yeah, but they came back with Penacony. So maybe Wuthering Waves can come back with the story. But as of now, like if you just wanna dive into the main story and such, even the companion quest, like I did the companion quest for Ling Yang, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It just isn't it. It's not my cup of tea. I mean, if you're loving the story, that's great. That's amazing. If you enjoy it, that's 100% amazing because games are made to be enjoyed. But personally, um, the story was very very weak, and I mean, I still don't care about anyone in the game, and I've been playing it non-stop since like the day it came out. So yep, I just don't care about anyone. I mean, right now in my team, I just care about three characters: uh, the female rover, Jianshin, and Baiji, and all three of those because all three of them are hot as fuck. They're really hot, and that's why I just really care about them. So imagine that. I mean, I have no feelings for any of the characters in this game. So that's another thing. The story is terrible. It's terrible. I have no idea. Okay, moving on from the story because I can't spend the entire day crying about it. So after the story comes, what should I say? The combat. Now the combat is one of the good things in this game. Like I really enjoy the combat. The combat is you have this parry system, you have swift attacks, and you have a three character party system, unlike Star Rail or Genshin, where it's a normal four party system. So this one reminds me more of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where you had those three party segments, like with Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, or Cloud, Tifa, and Barrett, something like that. So three party teams. Now in this game, something unique is the intro outro skills, which still have no idea how it works. I mean, I just see some vibrations happening on a character and just switch over to them to do an extra damage attack or something. But yep, it's something like that, the intro outro skill, something like that, which is unique to this. There's a dodge and parry systems, like you have perfect dodges. Now I wish the combat is actually pretty fluid and such, but there's just one problem that I have with the combat is that the indicators, I mean, the indicators aren't that how should I put it, I mean, accurate. You have to precisely time. There's no leeway of 2 to 3 seconds. Okay, if your latency of your controller or your keyboard or your mouse is high, so you need you have a 2 second delay when you click, and then not a 2 second delay but 2 milliseconds or something like that. You have some sort of latency, and this game just demolishes you. You can see a parry indicator and you press that attack button, but nothing happens. The enemy is going to hit you, and then you're going to do the attack, or then the game reads the command for the attack, and it's just kind of annoying a bit. I wish we had some sort of, I don't know, it's just maybe it could be my device, my controller as well, maybe, because I've seen only praise, and I agree, the combat of this game is truly unique and amazing. I will not compare it to Genshin because Genshin has an elemental reaction system in their combat, and that is completely different from what Wuthering Waves offers you. So there's no point in comparing Genshin and Wuthering Waves combat over here. Just sticking to Wuthering Waves, the combat is pretty sleek, it's pretty fast, whenever the game works, but the combat is good. It works, and it's fun. You see those small damage numbers, but it's fun. It's nice. You have those ultimates as well, and then you have the skill tap and everything. It's just brilliant. I mean, the animations are also very pretty, very gorgeous animations for every character, and each have their different types of pistols, swords, bracers, and then maybe there's a spear type thing also as well. I have no idea, but maybe so. So we have a variety of weapon types as well. So it's nice. You have different sorts of parrying, different sorts of dodging animations and such, which is pretty beautiful. One other problem that I find a problem with the combat is that the characters that use guns or catalysts, basically Chisha or Baiji, dodging and parrying with them is far more difficult compared to, like, parrying with female rover or Jianshin, something like that, because I have no idea. But those characters, you would rather use them for the long range stuff. Like, you're a catalyst, you have the long range advantage. Same with the pistols. And then over there, the parrying system is like they want you to be as close as possible. So that just makes the system a bit weird. Like, I wish counters for, like, parrying for gun holders and catalyst users were like different compared to, like, parrying for sword type players, because whenever I need to parry, I always switch to the female rover, which is, I mean, it's just sad, because sometimes you want to play as a different character, but the entire weapon system negates the effect of parrying. And now I know, maybe continuously playing the game, maybe analyzing the enemy patterns, I would be able to parry properly with gun wielders and catalyst users, but as of now I just feel like the sword users are the best for parrying. Otherwise everybody else just sucks. I mean, it sucks in the sense that those ranged users suck, but overall it's pretty fun. The combat is good, it's responsive, it's nice to, like, deal damage to opponents and kill them. It's satisfying. It's definitely not satisfying when the enemies kill me, but yeah, it's still good. And maybe with time, as the game grows, as my account will grow, I will have stronger characters, stronger levels. Maybe the damage will increase over time, but that's it. That's for the combat. Coming to the open world. The open world of this game is, I mean, it's something. It's something. I mean, there's an open world. The graphics are really nice. The enemies are there. You have those monsters roaming around. You have allies fighting monsters, which makes the open world feel alive. Then you have those echoes which you farm in the overworld, which is nice. You have some tacit fields where you fight, enemies on a timer, which I still think it's stupid, because why are they so obsessed with timers? But whatever, man. So, like, yeah, you have tacit fields, you have bosses, you have the farming stuff, the EXP, weapon EXP, stuff like that. All in all, it's a nice open world. Although one thing I hate is the exploration part. Like, we have wall climbing, which is actually pretty good. Wall climbing is one of the good changes that they did from Genshin. Like, it's actually faster and it's fun. Although you could get stuck somewhere, but still, it works. The problems that I have are with the utility function, like, the sensor or the grapple. Why are they on cooldowns? Like, come on, man. Why is a grapple system, like, you have a grapple thing and you have a 12-second cooldown, or at least make it 2 seconds or something. You have a 12-second cooldown on the grapple thing, and it just sucks, because if you don't have any grapple points anywhere, you just use it once and then you're on a 12-second cooldown. So that's pointless. That's like, you're playing Spider-Man and then you have a 5-second cooldown for every web shoot that you do. So, like, you're just swinging for 5 seconds until you get the next, your cooldown, like, happens, so, like, you can shoot the next one. It's just so stupid. The sensor part is also pretty annoying, because why couldn't they just implement something like a tacit vision or something like that? Like, like Genshin has elemental vision, which has no cooldown, by the way. You can just keep on continuously tapping that thing and it just works. With here, you have a 5-second cooldown on the sensor, and the button is very unintuitive, at least for controllers, because then you have to press the left directional key and then use your right analog stick to change. You have to first press the RB button and then you have to change. It's just so unintuitive. Like, you have an LB wheel. In the game, similar to Genshin, but it doesn't open with LB, it opens with the left direction stick for some reason. Whatever, I can manage with that, but still, after that you have 2 more button taps to do anything. It's just, I don't know, man. I just find it unintuitive, because with Genshin you've gotten used to that, the one button You click the LB key, you open the wheel locker, and then over there you have everything available, like literally everything: your map, your wishes, your co-op mode, your tutorial, your elemental vision, your gadget, everything. Over here it's just button tap here, button tap there, and it's just, I don't know, it just feels so awkward sometimes to, like, you, it's just coming from Genshin, it just feels kind of different, very different to adapt to. After that, the open world, as I said, it's fun, but I feel that once you clear everything, apart from farming echoes, I think that's it in the game, because there aren't really that many beautiful, I mean, what should I say? It's just like, I feel like it's gonna be a grindy game in the future, because you're just gonna be farming the echoes everywhere. Like, you want to farm the desert, go to the desert, farm some echoes there, then go to the forest region, then go to the port region, go to some, the Inferno region or something like that. I mean, it's gonna be a farm fest, which is kind of like, maybe people like it, maybe people don't, but I'm not personally a fan of insane levels of farming. I can do like some farming here and there, but expecting me to go farm everywhere for echoes and such, I mean, I'm just gonna skip it. And I mean, that's the open world that I feel like, I wasn't really particularly attached to the open world as well. Like, it's just, I think it's maybe because of the music as well, because most of the time I don't hear music at all while exploring. Like, I have no idea what kind of music plays. Either the music volume is so low, or there's no music at all. So, like, yeah, the music is missing, which could probably be a major factor, because Genshin's music is absolutely amazing for exploration. So, like, I just wish Wuthering Waves had that some sort of stuff. Like, maybe their music improved a bit, because right now the music is also one of the weakest points in the game, because none of the tracks are memorable. Like, you open up Genshin and that first music that you hear on the door, and it's like, it's embedded in your brain, like, this song is gonna stay. This is Genshin Impact. With Wuthering Waves, I open, and even the loading screen has this music or some sort, which, I don't know, most of the time is just verifying files for me, verifying files, hotfix applied, and analyzing patch integrity and something like that. So, I don't know, the music just isn't it over here. I mean, the next topic, should I even get to it? it's, it's voice acting. I played on the English dub. I mean, enough said. I think. No, man, it's downright bad. It's so bad. The English dub is so bad.
Now I have retrieved the magistrate's message for me from the puzzle box. But it only points me to the Grand Library. There's no meeting time. Something is still missing. I've solved the puzzle, the discs have been rotated, and the two symbols are now glowing. With this glowing light, a shadow is cast on two other symbols. The black tortoise of the north to the city hall. And the time reads, the Shichen of Cho, in the wee hours of the morning.
I mean, I have no idea why every character is an immediate simp for the main character. Like, we shouldn't. The in-game characters shouldn't be simping for our main characters right off the bat. Like, we meet Yang and Chishia, and they're like immediately simping for us for some reason. And Yang and her ASMR voice is like, oh boy, it's like, no hate to the voice actor, but oh boy. I mean, it's rough, man. It's rough. Female rover wasn't that great as well. I mean, if you play the great library mission where you have to solve the puzzle to access the innermost library, you know what I'm talking about. It's like it's so bad. I have no idea whether the voice actors were given scripts, whether they were told what environment they were in while recording, but I don't know, it's just so bad because it just feels out of place. There's no emotion in the dialogue, there's no emotion with respect to what's going on. Um, take for instance Act 6. Yang Yang wants to fight all the monsters while we go ahead to fight the Trinodian or something like that, the giant purple monster. And Yang Yang still carries the ASMR voice. She's got to face tons of monsters ahead, but she's still okay. I'll do it. I'm gonna stop here. Come on, man. This is a fight for your life. Show some emotions. So show something that's not the calmness that you have. And even then she still sends for the rover, like, rover, are you okay? I mean, shut the it's annoying, man. It's annoying. I mean, people said Paimon was annoying, but man, nah. Paimon is much better than this. She may have the squeaky voice, she may repeat tons of things, but at least she has a distinct voice that you can identify, and it has varying emotions. When she's sad, when she's teasing, when she's happy, you know it. Over here you have no idea what the hell the characters are doing. Chishia, who has to be upbeat, is upbeat. She tries to be upbeat, but I don't know, I just don't feel that upbeatness that you might see in other characters in other games. Like, let's say for example, Gaming in Genshin. Let's take Gaming and Lingyang. Both have the same, the same type of background, lion dances and all, but one is Gaming's voice. You just hear him and it's like so fun. And then you have Ling Yang's voice. You just hear him and then you just want to strangle him. Sorry, I'm not a fan of Ling Yang. Nah, man, the voice acting is bad. It's bad. I just hope they improve it in future patches, really. So yeah, we're gonna stop at that. After that, after the voice acting, what comes next? Performance. Should I? It's bad. It's so bad. I mean, I have no idea how to praise this game right now in its 1.0 version. Like, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I see people praising this game and I'm like confused, because where the hell? I mean, if it's working for you, that's great, that's amazing. But majority of the people, or at least my experience, was so bad that I don't know. I just don't feel very good with the game right now. The game's performance is horrible. It's horrible. Continuous stutters, continuous lags, overheating. I play Genshin Star Rail on high settings and my laptop never overheats. With Wuthering Waves, it overheats so much that my laptop completely freezes and I have to force restart it. So I just had to lower the settings now. I think it's stable right now, but I'll test it sometime later. I put the settings on medium and all, but still, this game does not demand so much resources for whatever it does. I mean, you're trying to make a game on a mobile phone, you have to optimize it. You have to have the best possible optimization possible. You can't expect everybody to carrying an iPhone 15 Pro or a Google Pixel 8 Pro or a Samsung S, whatever is the latest Samsung. I mean, you just can't expect that. Or you can't expect every PC user to have an RTX 4070 or a 4080 card with the latest Ryzen or an Intel 13 Gen, 14 Gen CPU. That's just impossible. So, when you're making a game, you have to take at least 5 to 6 years of, devices into consideration. At least for the PC market. For mobile phone, you can take it 2 to 3 years. and you have a direct competition with Genshin Impact. I mean, you're making an open world game that's clearly inspired from this game. Like, fanboys can deny all they want, but a casual person, when they play Genshin, when they go and play Wuthering Waves, they will see similarities. They will see many similarities. And since Genshin came out first, it will get the benefit. So it's just it's just like they wanted to like just make their own Genshin Impact and hope for the best, but it's just not hoping for the best. It's just not working for the best, and it's bad. It's sad, man. I mean, I really wanted to like this game. Not gonna lie, I really wanted to like this game, but I mean, maybe I just gotta wait a few days longer. Maybe I think I don't know. I don't know, man. This just makes me want to play ZZZ, even though I don't have any plans of playing that game and you know adding it to my already ever expanding gacha games. But I don't know, man. At least with that game, I know that the optimization would be amazing and it'll be worth the download. Unlike Wuthering Waves right now, which I don't know, it's just a resource hogger. It's just so bad. And this is completely honest. Like these are my honest opinions. I'm not a Genshin fanboy as such. I mean, I've played many games, and many games are much better than Genshin. The Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Spider Man. I mean, there's so many games out there. Final Fantasy Rebirth, Final Fantasy Remake, so many games, and all of them are amazing games. But this game, its direct competition was with Star Rail and Genshin, and it just falls so flat. It's not as bad as Tower of Fantasy. Tower of Fantasy was the worst game that I've ever played, but it's not good at as well. Like it's not good too. It's just your average gacha game you'd expect from anybody who's trying to replicate Genshin's success. They have the same monetary system, they have the same gacha system. Yeah, they don't have hard pity at 80. I mean, they don't have hard pity at 90, they have hard pity at 80. But still, it's the same thing, 50-50. You have the Welkin system, you have those tides and such. Yeah, they added another weapon currency, but still that works there. It's just, you can, I don't know, there's just so many similarities. The UI, the skill placement, and the ping order, the battle pass system. I mean, it's just oh my god. All in all, like I just want to say it's an average game. It's not out of this world, but it's not bad either. If you can play it, the performance is shit. The performance is very bad, and I hope they optimize it further so that everybody can play it easily. At least like phones that play Genshin and Star Rail can easily play Wuthering Waves on low settings. But I don't know, man. Apart from that, they have to rework on this game a lot, and I mean a lot. The story, the music, the character personalities, the world, the performance. I mean, if anything, is only the combat is good. That's it. That's the only good thing. But good combat cannot save a game. So, I mean, I'm hoping for the best. Hoping for the best. But right now, if I want to give a score to this game, I would probably give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's just an average game. It's very average. It's nothing mind blowing. I mean, you have these insane cutscenes, but they're not mind blowing. I played through 6 acts of the main story, yet I don't feel anything for any of the character. By comparison, I played 2 acts of the Mondstadt story, and I fell in love with Lisa, Amber, Jean, D-Luke, Kaya. So, like, that's the difference. That's the difference. Another thing that I want to just put out, and I wish future gacha games don't do this, especially Chinese gacha games, which I feel Horrendous has perfected, is that their first region is not Chinese inspired. The first region is always something that will appeal to the general audience, that will appeal to the global audience. So you have, Mondstadt in Genshin, which starts with easier names, easier terms. You have the Knights of Avonius, you have Amber, Lisa, Kaya, Jean, Diluc. You have this City of Freedom, you have Venti as the Archon, you fight a dragon. And the terms aren't that bad. Slowly and gradually, as you move to Liu, where you have those Chinese names and Chinese terms pop up, like the Liu with Ji Xing, you have Kuching, Ning Wang, and Zhongli and such. So, slowly and gradually, you're building that lore and getting players invested in the story. Same with Star Rail, they did it amazingly. Bellabog was one of the best first chapters that I've ever played in a video game. Bellabog is still one of the best stories ever in Star Rail. So you have Zile, you have Bronya, Natasha, Japard, Soval. Then you have Clara, all good characters. It's gonna appeal to the audience because you have Cocolia, the Stellaron. It's on an icy planet. You have good characters over there. And then after that they get into the shit show that it's the Xianzhe Lawfu with Jing Yuan and Fu Xuan, and those characters were amazing, but the story was terrible. The Lawfu story was absolutely terrible, but still they've invested in you. They've brought you. They've grabbed your attention through the first arc. So you would, even if you're not interested in the story, you would probably just skip and continue till the end and might stick around for more. With Wuthering Waves, they just start off right off the bat with the Chinese names, the Chinese terms, and this is just my personal opinion, but as a player who's unfamiliar with Chinese culture and all, just heading into a game with just Chinese, you have FGO as well, a Japanese gacha game, but they're not just focused on Japan's history. They have American stories, they have British stories, they have Indian stories, and they have stories set in many different regions of the world, and many times as well, different times. Same with Genshin, same with Star Rail, different regions inspired by different countries, and I have no idea whether the story of Wuthering Waves would be inspired by different cultures, because right as of now, I mean, I have no idea where we're gonna go. And with the characters, Yang, Chisha, Jian, Yinlin, Yunhua, and then Jian Shin, and then I think the most normal names were Encore, Verena, and Alto. And even the upcoming new characters are Changli and Jinshi, and the entire region is called Jinzhou, which honestly reminds me of Ginger. I have no idea. So Jinzhou, Huanglong, and something. It's just so much, weird names, weird terms. I wish we had such easier terms, Tevat, Bellabog, Fontaine. I just hope this game gets better, man. That's it. I just hope this game gets better. And with that, I'm gonna end this review of Wuthering Waves. I like the combat. That's it. I don't like anything else. And I have tons of side quests remaining. I have done a few companionship quests. I tried the end game modes, and I'm just not feeling it right now. It could change maybe 2 weeks down the line, maybe when Yinden comes up, new combat style, or maybe if they improve the performance, improve the server issues, because my ping always shoots up to 600 700 for no reason, and maybe then I'll give it a better score. But right now it's just an average game, and an average game is at best a 6.5 out of 10. And that's it. For comparison, Genshin in my books is a solid 8.5 9. So like yeah, for comparison. But yeah, man, I just wish they improve Wuthering Waves. That's it. That's it. And with that, I'm just gonna end this video. Thanks for watching. If you're up till here, please subscribe to my channel, support me, and have a great day. And also, what were your thoughts on Wuthering Wave as a whole? Let me know in the comments below. Goodbye.